Alright, what is going on everyone? So today I'm going to make this quick little video to get you updated with what I'm doing with the Nintendo Switch. First of all, it got featured on the Big Pen page on CodePen, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, it's probably gone now. Maybe on the next page. Ah yeah, this one. So this is pretty sweet, to be honest, and thank you for that. It is absolutely appreciated. And okay, then let's get into it. Today I just wanna tell you about how did I animate this and how did I make it responsive into respective sizes of screens, whether you view it on mobile or an iPad or anything. So the first thing I want to talk about is the animation, because that's the easy part. So oops, I'm just gonna comment out the code that makes it move. So this circle left on inside the logo is this block of code. So I add this animation and this move down name for the animation that I will do after this, and I'll set it to be moving for 2 seconds and infinitely keep on moving, just never stop. So I add a keyframe for it. The name is the same, move down, and it is pretty simple, to be honest, because what makes it position at the position here, if it's not moving, is the top attributes, which is 20%. So that is kind of the initial state of the circle. So if I start at 0%, which is 0 seconds, this 0% outside of the attributes declaration is the time, I suppose, the keyframes of how many seconds depending on the percentage. So at 0 second it is a 0 second. So at 0 second I make the top at 10%, so it's probably about here, so that's 10%. So at 50 it goes all the way down to 7% about here, right? And then at 100% I'll do it at top again, so the initial position, so it moves up and down, up and down. If I remove this 100% code, it will yeah, as you can see, it's not really smooth. So if I undo that, or maybe if I do this, I didn't put the 70% thing, and then I make it 0 to 100, 70%. So as you can see, it moves down and then it goes up pretty fast. It just resets it, right? That's not pretty smooth, that's not what I want. So I'm just gonna undo everything, and this is the animation that I want. Right, that's that. So it's pretty simple, to be honest. Just this block of codes that makes it move up and down. Same goes to the left one, to the right one. It is same. Basically, it is the same. Just instead of move down, it's move up, and instead of top, it's from the bottom. So if you want to make it top, you can, but you know, I prefer bottom one because it's easier. So that's that. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, the animation. The second thing I want to talk about is this is going to be a little bit longer, because it's about the responsive design. So the way I do it is I use media queries, which is this one. So I have a bunch of them, because this is not necessary. I just going the extra mile because I just want to make it more responsive than just 2 states. You can actually have this result just with one of these. So I'm going to show you this one, the first one. It's basically the same. All of it is the same. So add media, or actually this is just a copy paste, I don't know. All I know is this is the part that matters, because the max width is 900 pixel. If you see in my box, it's 1000 pixels with 400 pixels in height. So this is the original code. So if I move below 900 pixel, it will change according to the, see, it change according to the attributes that I've given under that media queries. I think that's called media queries. So where is it? All right, this one. So as you can see, if the max width is 900, so if it goes below that, it gonna run all these codes. So how do I figure out this number? It's just a simple tweaking. So the first thing I did is the box, instead of 1000, I make it 728. I mean 280, 100. Oh my god, 280 pixels in height. Where this values is the first I decide with the width, which is 700. It's just random. I think that if the first one is 1000 and then the threshold is 900, so I don't know, maybe the box should be 700 now. So based on that, to get the height, to make it as proportionate as this, so that if I just put a random number, say 300, it is not as nice. I mean, it still doesn't look, it still look good, but let's say I make it 400, or maybe as you can see, it distorts. So that is not what I want. So where did I get this 280 pixels is based on the ratio of the original one, which is 1000 and 400. So if you can see here, the ratio is pretty simple. So the first one, 400 divided by 1000, which is a quarter, not a quarter, 0.4, maybe a quarter, I don't know. And then I times it with the width that I want. And there you go. You get the ratio that you want. So all of the other threshold, I use the same, 500, 200 times 0.4 is 200, and then the last one is 250. The threshold, times 0.4 is 100. So that's pretty simple. So next is if I remove these two Joy-Con, the blue and the red one, as you can see, it curves too much compared to the original one, because the value based on pixel, not percentages. So the way I figured it out is I figured out the magnitude of the shrinking, if you will. So the first one, I based on the width. So the width now is 700. So I divide it by 1000, so I get 0.7. So and the value of the border radius at the top, the original one, I just times it with 0.7, I get this value. So if you don't believe me, I'll show you right now. Why would you not believe me? I made this. Should believe me. Alright, this here. Oh no, this one. My god, I can't find it. It's joystick, Joy-Con left. Alright, this one. So as you can see, that's nothing much to be changed. I mean, I can include this below, but that would be unnecessary, and you know, it's not needed anymore because the value doesn't change. But this border radius is what changes. So if I times 0.7 with 70, 0.7 times 70, I get 49, which is what I use in the media queries. It's in the bottom, this one. So every other values is just, all of it is just border radius, because I don't want it to curve as much when it got smaller. So the way I figure out the numbers is just by finding the ratio of the shrinking it's different from the ratio of this to proportionate. I don't know, the relationship between width and height is different. So the thing that you have to keep in mind is, first, the ratio between the width and the height. So everything is just 0.4 based on the original one, which is 400 times 1000 that I have showed you. So in that way, you can just decide what width you want to use, and in order to determine the height, you just times 0.4. That's the ratio between the width and the height. To determine the value for the shrinking, you need to use the same thing, the same attributes. For example, if you want to use width, you have to use the shrinking width, the new value of the width, and divide it with the original one, which is 1000, and then you get the ratio, and then you just times everything, any other value is just 0.7, the ratio used to make it shrink properly. So for in this one, it's 0.7. If this is I don't know, maybe it's like, I don't know the original value, but I times 0.7, so I get this value. So everything is just basically the same. For example, this is the first shrinking. The second shrinking is 700 pixels. So as it gets below 100 pixels, I make it the width is 500, and this is like that, and the value 735. It's because 500 divided by 1000 now is a half, so everything just half in the original value. The original one is this one, not this one, this one. So this is 2 times bigger than this. It might not seem that it is, but it is based on the ratio. So the third one is the small one, which is this one. Same thing. All you need to do is just determine the width, get the height, and then get everything else. Alright, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know, I suppose this is supposed to be a quick one, but I don't know how long it actually takes, so I'm guessing I'm just gonna end it here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you learn, just share it with anyone that you might think would benefit from this. And yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like and leave a comment if you have anything to ask. Goodbye. I said don't think about it. Came up as a church boy with my Duke.